Before we begin, do not forget to click the bell button below. Hi everyone, good morning or good afternoon. I am Stephen Tracy Tabamo. You can call me Steve, Steve, or Sir Stephen, whichever you prefer to. So I am here to explain the content of English module for grade 8. Unfortunately, when I scanned the module, I have seen that there are some lapses, there are some glitches, and there are some mistakes. So there are some activities that require you to define underlined words. Unfortunately, the given sentences do not include any underlined words. So I cannot imagine how can you able to answer it if you don't know the underlined word. So please watch this video, finish it. If you are done, still watch it so that in case you have some mistakes, you can correct them before you will submit them to your teachers. Now, if you are not yet done, you are very lucky. This video can help you a lot. Okay, let's now begin. So let us now begin explaining your grade 8 module. First, this is your module. So it's English 8 Quarter 1 Module 1. Weekly, you will answer a module. So as fast as you can, make sure that you can finish it in a week. For the first week of your class, the title of your module is Determining the Meaning of Words and Expressions by Noting Context Clues. This is an ADM module, so meaning to say, write your answers on a separated sheet of paper. I repeat, write your answers on a separated sheet of paper. So do not write your answers on this module. In case you have written already some answer, it's okay. Sorry for the late notice. But please, for the succeeding activities, do not write your answers anymore. Is that understood? Thank you. Let us now continue. So let me move it down. So this is the title of your module. I am the writer of this module, so I know very well the content of this module. Okay, let us move it down. Lower, lower. So you don't have to answer this. This is just an introductory message. Just read it. No need to answer it. Okay, these are the subtitles of each part of the module. Okay, subtitles and their corresponding meanings. No need to answer, just read. Okay. Alright, so we have the first part, the what I need to know part. So just kindly read the introduction. Life is filled with journeys. That is very true. And this pandemic, this new normal, what they call new normal, is another new journey in our lives. We cannot do anything anymore. It's part of our lives. All we have to do is to embrace it and to accept it. We have to live the new normal life. We can't do anything about it anymore. Alright, next, here are the objectives for this module. So you are expected to broaden your vocabulary as you read different phrases, words, and sentences in the module. And you will be able to do it through noting context clues. Later on, you will learn what context clue is. And then you are to understand the literary pieces through context clues, determine the meaning of vocabulary words and other expressions through various ways of context clues, and finally, value one's culture as they get to learn the African culture through reading various texts. My dear grade 8 students, English 8 is Afro-Asian literature, meaning to say, you will read different literary pieces which are written by African writers. Okay? And as you read and as you learn African literary pieces, you will also be able to understand and appreciate African culture. Alright, let's move forward. And speaking of which, what I know, the first poem you are to read is entitled African Child by Eku MacGregor. Okay? So this is how an African looks like. All you have to do is to read this. You can read it once, you can read it twice, you can read it as many times as you want. As long as you don't understand it, don't stop reading it. Okay? Alright. Then on a separated sheet of paper, you are to answer this. For your answers, it's okay to write your answers in Taglish or Tagalog English. I will also accept if you cannot speak pure English, just few Tagalog words, and then try to use some English words so that you learn it. And it would be best, of course, if you will write in complete English. It doesn't matter whether it's perfect or not, for as long as you are trying your best in using this language, it's okay with me. That is all that matters. That is very good already. Okay, let's begin. Lesson 1, the title is Determining the Meaning of Words and Expressions by Noting Context Clues. So from the title itself, you will be encountering different words. Maybe these words are all new to you. Maybe these words, you do not know their meanings. Also, you might encounter expressions. So when we say expressions, this could be sentences or this could be phrases. They might seem difficult to understand, but as you learn context clues, you will realize that it's easy for you to determine and to define these meanings and words through using it. Okay? So this is what context clue is. So when we say context clue, according to dictionary.com, they are hints. Hints that an author gives to help define a difficult or unusual word within a book. So when we say hint, it could be a tip, it could be a clue. So these are the synonymous words for the word hint. Pwede siyang clue, pwede siyang tip. So you will be able to define an unusual, meaning to say a word that you have not yet encountered, you have not yet read, or you have not yet experienced, and you will understand it by looking into the hints that we are talking about, the tips and the clues. Now, what are these tips, clues, or hints? Or what are these context clues? So we have 4 kinds of context clues. They are the following: synonym, antonym, explanation, or specific example. So you will understand a word, you can understand a word by looking into its synonym. So when we say synonym, another word which has the same meaning. Example, you have heard the word humongous. Humongous is synonymous to huge or large. So meaning to say, when you say humongous, it is something big, large, or huge. So that is its synonym. So when we say antonym, it's the opposite meaning. So if you encounter, if you have read a sentence saying, this is not small, it's humongous. So it says, it's not small. So meaning to say, if it's not small, then it's big. So that is its antonym. Sometimes the word is also explained. So there is an explanation that follows. And finally, sometimes there is a specific example. Like for example, a giant is a humongous entity. Okay? Okay, let's move forward. Okay. So this will be the first activity that you will answer. So there are blanks. This is just an exercise. So the first one is already given. These are all, these lines are taken from the poem. So nasa tula sila. Those in bold letters are the difficult words you are to identify. So on the spaces given, on this part, so you will be writing what you think is its meaning. So, whatever that comes out in your mind, try to write it here. Make sure it defines the word in bold letters. For number 2, so thrive. Give me a dream, a door of opportunity, I will thrive. So what do you think is the meaning of thrive? Okay, next is bold, next is scrap, and next is potential. Okay, just put a line here. So just try to answer here what you think are their meanings. And why did you say that is its meaning? What is the clue that helped you? Example, often the target of pity, my future is not confined to charity. So when we say pity, what does it mean? It says here, it's like something related to poor, mahirap, or less fortunate. So that is his idea. So what is the clue? Oh, the person wrote charity. So there is a word charity here. Isn't it? Pag may charity, we often conduct charity works. Nagko-conduct tayo ng charity works para sa mga poor. So that is the clue. So you can do it also on the other numbers. Understood? Okay, let's move forward. For the first activity, you are to read Gizzo and the Lizard, an African folk tale. So a while ago, you read African Child. It's a poem. Now you will be reading a folk tale. Okay? And the folk tale is about Gizzo. This is Gizzo and the Lizard. Okay? So it's an African folk tale. So all you have to do is to read it. Every time you encounter a difficult word, you can use your dictionary. Your phones may have dictionaries. You can use them in understanding the word so that you will understand the folk tale given. Right? Next, after reading it, we will test your comprehension. So you will now define difficult words. Okay, vocabulary words. Number 1, so all you have to do is to identify the answer from this one. Okay? One day, in an isolated town, there lived a king who had a beautiful daughter, and then which among the words given below is synonymous to the bolded word isolated? Is isolated snowy, windy, pretty? No. So the answer is lonely. So when we say isolate, mag-isa, di ba yung mga may COVID, ina-isolate sila. So if you are isolated, its meaning in this sentence is lonely. Only in this sentence, huh? In other sentences, we can use isolated in another meanings, okay? So we can define the words depending on how they were used in the given sentences. Okay, let's continue. Okay, aside from encountering words, you will now encounter idioms or idiomatic expressions. Idiom is commonly used expression. So just like our title, defining words and expressions. So idioms are expressions whose meaning does not relate to the literal meaning of its words. So meaning to say, hindi siya literal. Kung ano yung word, hindi yun yung meaning niya. It has another meaning. I'll give an example, okay? If you will join a contest, somebody will tell you, break a leg. Okay, sasali ka ng dance contest. Sabi ng kaibigan mo, Pedro, break a leg. So when we say break a leg, hindi mo siya i-define according to the words themselves. Baka ang iisipin mo, babasagin ko ang paa ko. That's wrong. This is an idiom and it has another meaning. At ang meaning nito ay good luck. Okay? So pag sinabi ng kaibigan mong break a leg, ang ibig sabihin nun, ginugood luck ka lang niya. Okay? Sinasabi niya, galingan mo daw. So break a leg. So we have here other idioms. So you will identify their meanings, choose A, B, C, D, by understanding the sentence. So you can use context clues. You can identify synonyms, you can identify antonyms, explanations, or examples. Just read the sentences and you can identify the meaning. Clear yon? Okay. Now we have another activity, guided activity. So the question here is, what are the actions shown by the Filipinos that reflect on their culture? Use the idioms in the box in your sentences. So we have here idioms. These idioms, if I am not mistaken, came from this. So pag alam mo ang meaning niya, okay, mapapadali ka dito sa example mo. So kanina, you defined the meaning. This time, you will use them in your own sentences. So sasagutin mo itong tanong na ito, gagamit ka ng idioms. So ang items ay 5. So you have to choose 5 among them. Okay? So pipili ka ng 5. Tanong ulit, what are the actions shown by the Filipinos that reflect on their culture? Ano-ano ba yung mga nakita mong magaganda or pangit na action na feeling mo ay nagre-represent sa kulturang Pilipino? Okay? Let me give an example. Diba? Because of the COVID, lahat tayo ay, or majority of the Filipinos, practice the bayanihan culture. It's a Filipino culture wherein each of us helps each other. So we are helping each other. So you can write it here, all Filipinos. Of course, we will use an idiom. So I will not give an example because that will give you the answer. So you will write here, blah, 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 bayanihan, culture. Just use an idiom. Clear yon? So you will answer this. You will write your answers on the spaces given. And in each answer, kailangan gagamit ka ng idiom. Next, we have the guided assessment number 1. So read and understand the given sentences below to identify the correct definition of the underlined words. Write your answers, of course, on a separated sheet of paper. So babasahin mo yung mga nanditong sentences, and then you will try to understand them and give the meaning. So identify mo yung ibig sabihin ng mga bolded or ng mga unbolded words. Underline, sabi niya. Sorry, hindi sila naka-underline. Okay? So itong mga bolded letters. So i-underline ko na lang sila. So 5. So you will read the sentence. Example, no matter where you go, the internet is following you. Almost every portable device is being made with an internet connection. Most new TVs and other appliances come with internet connections as well. The internet is truly ubiquitous. So ano ang ibig sabihin ng word na ubiquitous? Based on the sentence that you have read, is it A, fuzzy and will bite you? Nangangagat ba ang internet? B, it is everywhere. Kahit saan ba ay mararamdaman mo or makakakita ka ng internet? C, it costs too much. Sinabi ba sa binasa mo na mahal ang internet? Or D, it causes rashes. Magkakatikat ka ba or sugat dahil sa internet? So you have to choose now which among the given meanings fit the bolded word. Okay, write your answers on the space before each number. So instead na susulat mo dito, kunwari A, isusulat mo siya sa papel mo. Clear yon? Okay, let's move forward. Next ay guided activity number 2. In the space provided, write a synonym for each underlined word as it is used in context. Whoa, okay. So, sabi niya, identify mo yung synonym. So, pag sinabi natin synonym, another word which has the same meaning with the underlined word. Oh, at least binasa ko siya, so makikita natin na meron siyang problema. So, hindi naka-underline yung words, so I will help you do it. For number 1, his lucid lectures along with His clearly presented explanations made him a popular professor. So lucid is number 1. Anong ibig sabihin ng lucid? Mag-isip ka ng isang word na parehas ang ibig sabihin kay lucid. Number 2. Their vociferous chatter made me wish I had earplugs. So anong word ang may same meaning kay vociferous? He was so impudent to his mother that I would have punished him if he talked to me that way. So anong ibig sabihin ng impudent? The Russians are skillful at sending cryptic messages. Okay. So anong ibig sabihin ng cryptic messages? So ang gagamitin mo lang word, huwag kang maglalagay ng sentence ha, one word only. Number 5. The great flood of Noah's day was caused by incessant rain that fell for 40 days and nights. So ano ang synonymous word sa incessant? Number 6. The students who arrived late told the teacher an implausible story about stopping to watch a UFO. So anong word ang parehas sa implausible? If you have a dictionary, you can use a dictionary. It's okay. If you have a kuya or an ate who is very good in English, you can also ask help from them. It's okay with me. Number 7. After spending 3 weeks in the hospital, I had a surfeit of daytime. So surfeit of daytime. So you are to define this word. Number 8. The prisoners liberated from the Nazi death camp were so emaciated that they looked like skeletons. So, emaciated. Wait lang, no, dahil hindi tayo sure sa pronunciation. I-check natin yung pronunciation niya. So, pronounce surfeit.
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 Okay, surfeit. Okay, this is surfeit. Going back. So, surfeit, number 7. Emaciated, number 8. Number 9, Bob decided to be prudent and call ahead for reservations instead of just showing up. So, prudent naman ang i-define ninyo. And number 10, the ambiguity of Joey's directions made it almost impossible to find his house. So, you are to identify the meaning of the word ambiguity. So, do you get it? So, in this activity, all you have to give is a word. One word for each number. You will provide a synonymous word for the underlined vocabularies. Clear? Okay, let's move forward. Guided assessment number 2. Now, let us develop your vocabulary. Rate the situation below and accomplish the activity that follows. Okay. So, ang drawing na ito, syempre, obvious, it's all about stopping COVID-19. So, we have here the frontliners. Nurse, a doctor, a policeman or a military man, and then a nurse. The fight against COVID-19 is far from over. Tama yan. Malayo pa tayo sa katapusan ng COVID-19. Unfortunately, matagal-tagal pa ito. So looking into the brighter side, this pandemic has helped many individuals to discover something new about themselves. So hindi lang negative ang naidulot ng COVID sa atin. May mga naibigay din siyang tulong sa atin. Katulad ng dahil sa pagkaka-lockdown natin, dahil sa pagka-quarantine natin, we discovered many talents that we never thought that we have. Example, long time ago, you do not dance, takot kang sumayaw. But because of COVID, naiinip ka, na-discover mo ang talent mo in dancing through TikTok. Right? So, TikTok ka ng TikTok, dahil sa COVID, na TikTok ka, na-develop mo ang talent mo sa dancing. So, pwede mo lagay dyan dito, who I was before. I do not know how to dance. Who I am now. I am a good dancer. And many more. Kompletuhin mo siya. Ano pa yung mga na-discover mong talents? Cooking, singing, and so on. Clear? Okay. Next. Independent activity number 1. It says here, in the previous activity, you have studied the poem that describes an African child. Now, this poem is a nationalistic poem. Sabi niya, yung African child daw, very nationalistic, makabansa, about sa Africa. Okay? Ngayon, nakikita niyo yung drawing dito. Watawat natin ito. Siyempre, Filipino ito. Now, you have to think of your most favorite Filipino nationalistic song. Mag-isip ka nga ng kanta na nationalistic, meaning to say makabansa. Mag-isip ka ng makabansang kanta. How does this song describe us Filipinos? Paano tayo dinidescribe ng kantang naisip mo? Example, Ang Bayan Ko. Example lang ha. And then explain mo siya. So you will write the title of the song here. Title ng napili mo. You can use the internet. You can ask your friends, your sister, your brother, your parents, or your guardians. Tapos, from the song, you don't have to explain it. So, hanapin mo sa song yung mga lines, yung totoong lines ng song na nagdi-describe sa Filipinos. And then, sulat mo siya sa mga space dito. So, you have to identify 5 lines. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Clear yun? Next. For item 6 to 10. So, mula sa lines, siguro ang lines, let's say, Ang bayan kong Pilipinas, lupain ng ginto't bulaklak. So, you will write here, lupain ng ginto't bulaklak. Sorry if the lyrics is wrong, just an example. So, lupain ng ginto't bulaklak. So, it's okay if your song is Tagalog. It's okay with me. So, susulat mo dito yung eksaktong line. Pagdating naman sa 6 and 10, alin dito yung eksaktong words or phrases? So, you will write ginto. Kung tingin mo maraming ginto or ugaling ginto ang mga Pilipino or bulaklak. So, you will write the exact word here. So, 5 rin yan. Okay? Clear yun? Next. Let's move forward. Independent Assessment 1. Match the words in column A to the given meanings in column B. So, meron tayong words sa column A. Hanapin mo ang meaning niya sa column B. Okay, write the letter of the answer on your separated sheet of paper. Letter lang po, huwag yung buong sagot. Okay. Number 2. Read the sentences below. Read the underlined word in sentence. Identify the word synonymous to it from the given words. Okay. Wala ulit siya naka-underline. So, tayo ang mag-underline. Buti binasa natin siya. Identify the word synonymous to it from the given choices. The student replied to the teacher with a witty answer and the class laughed. So, we have the word witty. So, ano yung witty dyan? Anong meaning niya dyan? I looked at my brother with a glare after he broke my laptop. Fireworks on the New Year's Eve give off a beautiful glimmer. So, glimmer yan. When we go camping, our leader will ignite. Okay. He chose to delete the unhealthy foods from his meal and make better choices. Okay, so delete. My grandpa will doze during television shows he watches when he is tired. So, ano ibig sabihin ng doze? The curious puppy emptied the bag while he sniffed around looking for something to chew. Okay, so we have here, curious. Each day during the summer, there is a slight increase in temperature. So we have here, slight. Number 9, the tower will topple if it has too much weight at the top. So we have the word topple. And number 10, the students who put in the best effort will be included in the celebration. So we have here effort. So these are the underlined words, okay? Identify their answers. Hanapin nyo dyan. So, tandaan nyo na lang. Next, independent assessment number 2. Read each sentence. Figure out the meaning of the word from clues in the sentence. So again, you will identify clues. Determination. Despite all the lives, by the way, write the definition and what clues led you to figure out. Okay, so didefine natin yung mga naka-bold na letters. Dito yung definition, tapos lalagay natin yung clue, yung word or phrases na kinuha natin sa sentence. Is that clear? example natin dito. Despite all the lives taken away, the country still does not lose its determination to win against this pandemic. So, kunwari lang naman, no, determination. Let's say, our confidence. Example lang to ha. This could be wrong, this could be correct. Okay. So, this is our definition. So, it could be one word or a sentence. Tapos, alin dyan ang pa-decide sa'yo na confidence ang meaning niya. So, maybe, does not lose. So, if you have the confidence, you don't like to lose. So, susulat mo dyan sa context clues. Period. So, this will apply to the other words below. Next. Okay. This is the reflection part. What I have learned. Just have no wrong answers here. I have learned that context clues are. I have learned that synonyms are. I have learned that antonyms are. I have learned that explanation is. I have learned that giving example is. Tapos ituloy mo lang yung sentence. Clear? Answer the questions in not more than 3 sentences. So wag sosobra ng 3 sentences, okay? How does literature preserve one's culture? So papaano ba na-maintain or nakikip ang kultura ng isang lugar through the use of literature? So when we see literature, tula, kanta, kwento, folktale, and so on. Paano natutulungan ng mga kanta, pagkakanta, pagtutula, pagbabasa ng kwento or pagsusulat ng kwento, ang pagpe-preserve ng isang kultura. Okay? So next, what I can do, another activity. So you are to read another African literary piece entitled A Handful of Dates. So basahin mo yan. Again, if you encounter a difficult word, you can use your dictionaries to define it so that it will help you understand the meaning of what you are reading. Tapos, sagutin mo na itong mga katanungan about sa story. Who is the narrator? What words or phrases describe the main character? 3 words best describe the grandfather. 3 words best describe the main character, Masud. And how does the story describe the Africans on their culture? Okay, so mula dito sa binasa ninyo, from the passage, from the handful of dates, sabi niya, from the passage, take 5 words. So maghanap ka ng 5 words na na-encounter mo. Words I have learned. Isulat mo dyan. Tapos isulat mo saan sentence sila kabilang. Yung buong sentence, yung buong pangungusap, isulat mo siya. And then what you think is its meaning. So you will write it there. Next, activities. Now, it's your turn to explore more words independently. Read carefully and follow the instructions below. Turn on your radio or television. So kung may TV kayo, may radio kayo, it's okay, turn it on. Listen to the different speakers and list 5 words which are new to you. So magsulat ka ng 5 na unfamiliar words. Mga bagong salitang narinig mo sa TV or sa radyo or saan man, sa kapitbahay mong mala radyo or mala TV. Okay. Sentence containing it, yung buong sentence niya. And then, the meaning of the word. Okay? Okay. That's it for the week 1. I hope everything is clear and I hope that I have helped you in answering this activity. So for the next module, just wait for another video like this. Or if you cannot wait anymore, you can already just read and understand the directions and answer the module. Again, thank you very much. Good afternoon or good morning. Bye-bye.